The knee came flying toward her face with vicious intent. But in that split second, Rebecca Thompson, Lincoln High's most feared tormentor, made a catastrophic miscalculation. The quiet new girl she'd chosen as her next victim wasn't just another scared teenager. She was Kesha Williams, a Muay Thai world champion who'd learned to hide her lethal skills behind a mask of calm humility. Before we dive into this story of epic justice, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from. And if you love stories where bullies get exactly what they deserve, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what happens next. Lincoln High's courtyard buzzed with anticipation. Phones were already recording what everyone assumed would be another routine humiliation, just another chapter in Rebecca Thompson's reign of terror. The mayor's daughter had perfected the art of public degradation, and today's target was the new black girl who transferred in just 3 days ago. Kesha stood against the wall, backpack worn and posture relaxed, looking like the perfect victim. That's exactly what Rebecca counted on. The 17-year-old bully launched her knee toward Kesha's face with every ounce of malice she could summon. But then time seemed to freeze. Kesha didn't retreat. She didn't cower. Instead, she moved forward with fluid precision, intercepting Rebecca's knee with a defensive technique so perfect it looked choreographed. The sound that echoed across the courtyard wasn't the crack of bone breaking, it was Rebecca's scream of agony as she collapsed, clutching her leg like she'd kicked a concrete wall. Automatic reflex, Kesha said simply, extending a hand to help her attacker up. "Are you okay?" The crowd stood stunned. In 2 years, nobody had dared challenge Rebecca Thompson. She was teenage royalty, daughter of the mayor, captain of the cheerleading squad, girlfriend to the sheriff's son. Her power seemed absolute. Until now. Rebecca limped to the school infirmary, her knee throbbing with unprecedented pain. But worse than the physical injury was the humiliation burning through her veins. Videos were already circulating, not of her dominance, but of her spectacular failure. "Mom, you need to do something," Rebecca hissed into her phone. "This girl attacked me in front of everyone." Catherine Thompson, the mayor's wife and school board president, sighed with practiced impatience. But she underestimated how seriously her daughter took this defeat. That afternoon, Rebecca convened her inner circle at Matthews' family cafe: Tyler Henderson, Hunter Matthews, her boyfriend and the sheriff's son, and Madison Foster. They weren't just planning typical teenage revenge. They were mobilizing the full weight of their family's political machinery. "My dad can run background checks," Hunter offered, drumming his fingers on the table. "We can make her life hell in ways she'll never see coming." They discussed documentation problems, immigration harassment, false accusations, every dirty trick their privileged positions afforded them. What they didn't know was that their target's father was FBI Special Agent Marcus Williams, and every word they spoke was being monitored. While Rebecca's crew plotted, Kesha practiced in her grandmother's apartment, kicks cutting through the air with hypnotic precision, each movement bearing the marks of years training in Bangkok gyms. Her worn shin guards told stories of a life these small-town bullies couldn't begin to imagine. "Don't overdo it tonight," her grandmother Dorothy called from the kitchen. The 71-year-old woman had shrewd eyes that missed nothing. "Problems at school?" "Nothing I can't handle," Kesha replied, though both of them knew that was only partially true. Dorothy placed a weathered hand on her granddaughter's shoulder. "Promise me you won't forget what we learned about control." Kesha met her grandmother's eyes. "I promise. But control doesn't mean submission." And Kesha was about to prove that the quietest person in the room can be the most dangerous, not because of what they'll do, but because of what they won't do until the perfect moment arrives. Friday morning, Rebecca woke up savoring anticipated victory. Hunter had confirmed that his father would conduct a routine check of Kesha's records that day. A black girl from Miami with no money and no connections, Rebecca had laughed. Who's going to believe her? But when Rebecca arrived at school at 7:30 a.m., black federal SUVs lined the parking lot. Men in dark suits spoke with unmistakable authority in the courtyard. This wasn't local police. This was something far more serious. In Principal Anderson's office, Special Agent Marcus Williams sat at the head of the table, his FBI badge gleaming under fluorescent lights. "This investigation began as a case of abuse of power against my daughter," Marcus stated calmly. "But it's expanded significantly." Sheriff Robert Matthews burst through the door, his son Hunter trailing behind. "What the hell is going on here?" Marcus rose slowly, his imposing presence filling the space. "Special Agent Williams, FBI. And you must be Sheriff Matthews." The color drained from Robert's face. Marcus nodded to an agent, who projected recordings onto the wall, 23 intercepted communications showing a conspiracy to harm a minor using public resources. Hunter's voice echoed through the speakers, "We can make her life hell in other ways." Then Sheriff Matthews himself, "If we find something, we find something. If we don't, we create something." The silence was deafening. Over the past 3 years, Marcus continued relentlessly, 7 minority families were forced to leave this city after similar investigations. This pattern of corruption ends today. The door opened. Kesha walked in calmly, followed by Janet Kim carrying a professional camera for the school newspaper. "Hi, Dad," Kesha said simply. "Hi, warrior," Marcus smiled. Hunter stared at Kesha with dawning horror. She looked directly at him with that unsettling calm that had become her signature. "Remember when you said I didn't know who I was messing with?" Kesha asked softly. "Well, now you know who you were messing with." Marcus delivered the charges: abuse of authority, conspiracy to harm a minor, falsification of documents. Sheriff Matthews was suspended immediately. Hunter would face prosecution in juvenile court. Through the windows, Rebecca watched her boyfriend being escorted to federal vehicles. Her world was collapsing, and she'd triggered the avalanche herself. Kesha found Rebecca in the hallway. "I wanted to thank you," she said genuinely. "Thank me?" Rebecca's voice cracked. "Your intimidation attempt exposed a corrupt system that had been hurting families for years. You helped me uncover something much bigger than a schoolyard fight." Kesha smiled softly. "In Bangkok, my coaches taught me that the most powerful technique isn't the strongest attack, it's knowing when not to attack. If I'd fought back that day, it would have been just another teenage brawl. But by choosing not to fight, I let you reveal who you really were. And when you escalated to political corruption, you revealed something much bigger." 6 months later, Lincoln High was transformed. Rebecca attended public school across the state, her father serving 4 years for corruption, her mother working as a secretary. Hunter was in juvenile rehabilitation, learning about real consequences. Kesha founded a self-defense program, teaching that true strength comes from self-control and justice, not violence. "You never really took revenge," Janet observed while filming Kesha teaching Muay Thai basics to students. Kesha adjusted a student's posture. "The best fight is the one you win without having to fight. Rebecca tried to destroy me using privilege and corruption, but she only exposed a system that was already rotten." Marcus Williams watched from the back, proud. His daughter had learned Bangkok's most important lesson: true martial strength lies not in being able to hurt someone, but in having the discipline to choose not to. "When someone tries to put you down," Kesha told her students, "remember, they're revealing more about themselves than about you. Justice always finds a way, especially when you have the patience to let it work." Have you ever witnessed or experienced a moment where patience and intelligence triumphed over brute force? Drop your story in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of Adium for more stories proving that true strength comes from within, not from your fists.